So the first image is basically Zaragoza, and it's people in the late afternoon in very midsummer, very hot, very mirage-like, a lot of repetitive rhythm, a lot of people, movement, and I really liked sitting there drawing this. It was a really hot evening, very atmospheric, and there you go. And I used pen and ink for this, so it was quite a quick sketch, but I did think to start with what it could be. So there's the image zooming in, and as you get closer you look at the shapes, and the shapes are abstract and partly representational as well. So another sketch is London, and this is somewhere on the embankment, I remember, and again a black and white pen sketch with some felt tip and showing quick lines, people moving, and the skyline. So in my images I like to have layers in my images, the movement and then the static buildings behind. And then again my images are objects. They're not trying to copy what's there, they're objects in themselves. They're a reflection of my thoughts and what I feel, my energies about what I'm drawing. So they're not hyper-realistic representational drawings. And each drawing is an object onto itself. So the next one is in Trafalgar Square, very hot summer, people moving, and then we have these elements such as the 5 and look left, these graphic elements we get on streets, and they have meanings when you're on the streets, but they also have a kind of symbolic meaning that we really sometimes we're not sure what they mean. And this I quite enjoy this almost mysterious meaning in these letters. So as we zoom closer, I think you can see some of my fingerprints, and the ink was water soluble, so I made it run. And there you go. So that's Trafalgar Square on a sunny day. And again, my drawings are objects, not representing exactly what you see. And then we have the Gherkin in London and the exit to Liverpool Street train station. And again, people moving and lines, static elements, the buildings, and then dynamic elements, the people moving, abstract shapes, rectangles, triangles, repeating themselves. A bit like music, or as if the internet or the computer world, virtual reality, was coming into reality. So I was just trying and find the energy there again. And again we have signs such as the McDonald's, these universal logos we get all over the world. Wasabi, McDonald's, the underground sign. And then this is more abstract. This is, I drew this on a cafe, not on a cafe, in a cafe in Lisbon on one of its hills, and I could see some of the city across onto another hill. And these squares, this is a sort of inspiration of what I felt at the time, and the architectonic elements, the squares repeating themselves, the energy. And I sometimes feel these drawings will be good when I get to do real sculpture, so I can make these can be studies, and then they can inspire me to make a real life sculpture from metal, wood, using these sketches as a basis to start. And it actually rained at the end of this short sketch, so I had to take cover under the umbrella. It was autumn 2013 in Lisbon when I was drawing there. So this is another sketch from Lisbon, and this is more representational. I drew this in Starbucks. Yeah, I know you're not meant to drink Starbucks coffee in Portugal, but I was, and this is a kind of a strange feeling with all the dots. And when you draw, spend a long time drawing, sometimes you become detached from the people walking around you in the city. So this woman is wearing these huge bug-eyed glasses, as many ladies in Spain and Portugal tend to do in the summer at the moment. and it's kind of like this person, this thing, this bug-eyed, almost alien creature is looking directly at us, the viewer. So it gives a feeling of uneasiness. So that was another quick sketch that I did in Lisbon this summer. And the next piece is to show you what I do when I take these sketches home. I develop them, and then with photograph references as well. I build 3D the 3D scene up behind and the base layer, and then in the top layer I do freehand drawing. So again, it's exploring the elements of static buildings and then the fluidity over the top, the other layers in the city that come over the top of the static buildings. The moving people, the abstract shapes, sometimes that catch in the corner of your eye when things are very busy, light. So and I want to give that feeling of a lot of my work like this is in the evening, just as the sun sets. I really like this time with the oranges, the atmosphere, the home time. And again, another 3D stroke drawing work, traditional drawing mixed with 3D, is this close-up of Times Square, New York. And again, you can see the 3D behind it with these loose lines, and these lines are done quite quickly to keep the kind of energy up. It's difficult to describe, but I'm sure as you as the viewer know, that these lines convey some sort of energy, and the static blocks, the static blocks are not conveying this energy. They're more monolithic, like sculptural. And as we zoom on that, we look at the light fall. It was purely done on the computer 3D Studio Max. So this is 3D Studio Max and traditional drawing over the top. So that's some of my city work, and the last one I'm going to show you is a less representational urban piece. It's this work. The final of this work is on silk textile, and it's an aesthetic with some colors and ants and bees that I modeled in 3D graphics. They took me a long time because they're quite accurately modeled. And this is a series of 3. They're the ant and bee work, and they're influenced from graffiti, sculpture, abstract drawing, aesthetics. So again, I want the black lines to convey a kind of convey an energy. But unlike this, there's not much that's still going on in this picture because the bees and the ants are really buzzing around as well. So there you go. That's all my drawings from this talk I did in the autumn. So thanks for looking, and speak to you later.